Okay, so what's up, guys? Matt from Our Process, and today we are with my man Denon, and he is running his personal brand. He is a personal trainer. He does online personal training as well, or online coaching, and so basically, like, then this is like a normal conversation. We're just talking about life, success, your journey through life, and everything that you've been through and stuff, and also just like your personal brand and everything that you've been through that, and like how you got past that. So. Just like starting out, like what got you like started in wanting to do like all of these different things? Like what got you started in like wanting to work out like in the first place? Like what got you motivated in the beginning?
That was actually a long process. I started playing hockey when I was like 13.
Yeah. Oh wow.
From there, I kept playing, and it kind of just seemed to be like an uphill shoot. Like I don't know, I started to progress very quickly. People were starting to notice. I was starting to make better and better teams.
Yeah.
And then I got to the age where about 16 years old, 15, 16, where everybody was getting really good and really big, and I just couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
I was this really small-framed kid, and it was really just difficult for me to play at this level, being that I was tiny,
Mm-hmm.
and especially I was a goaltender. I really couldn't keep up with the size of everybody and the speed of everybody, so I took out in training. I was like, okay, if I can't beat them with my current physical standpoint, I better get better.
Yeah, why not?
I was fast out there, but it took another level to, obviously take it to that point where I could compete and still continue to make better teams.
Mm-hmm.
Sure enough, I freaking loved it, my man. I really did. I got in the gym.
Wow.
I just felt the electricity of the weights, and I just went, "Oh, this is going to be something good for me."
Yeah. Wow.
So, anyways, I was training for hockey for a few years out of that, and it kind of just got to the point where I was playing around with bodybuilding. I was just kind of having fun figuring out what a pump feels like. And at that point, I was probably about 17
wow.
now. And I was just starting to play junior hockey. And out here in Canada, that's a decent level of hockey.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely pretty elite. And I kind of had to make the choice because I was starting to get bigger and bigger, and people were noticing. And it was it got to the point where it was like, I kind of had to choose between the two, but I had developed this love and this passion for hockey, but it was stressful, honestly. Like, I didn't know if I would be traded to freaking Quebec tomorrow, and like, it was just, you never knew, right?
Definitely.
So I kind of decided to piece out the hockey scene when I was about 18 and continue to follow fitness. But one of the things that really allowed me to actually make that decision to strictly follow the fitness industry was this entrepreneurial vibe that I've had since I was like really young.
Yeah.
I used to sell hockey cards on eBay.
That's awesome.
And just like totally rip kids off.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Like buy a card for $2, take it online, and blast that thing for $40.
That's
and
awesome.
Just screw people.
No, that's a line. That's a line.
You know what? It was just simple. I knew there was a demand for it, and I haven't got a deal. And I mean, I knew the value of it. However, if people are willing to pay, that's great. I mean, the market chooses, right?
Yeah.
So throughout the years, I was always playing around with these little businesses. When I was 16, I started my first business in the hockey industry, just selling like accessories for goaltender pads.
Wow.
And that was kind of when I got to the point, like while I was also figuring out the gym, and I realized, damn, I seem to be pretty good at creating a product and actually selling products, and I love the fitness industry.
Yeah.
I don't know how far I can go with hockey.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm really that good. So I kind of just amalgamated the two, the fitness industry and the entrepreneurial assets that I seem to have, or at least the tendencies, and kind of went that direction. Ended up going to school. I'm a corrective exercise specialist, and now I work with a lot of like very elite athletes. In fact, I just had a client of mine drafted in the NHL draft, and now he's heading back to the pro camp for the Vegas team.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just kind of gone from there. Competed in my first show right after I stopped playing hockey. A couple of the pictures started to go viral, and from there, the Instagram started to grow. And I just went, well, better capitalize on this 15 seconds of fame.
Why not?
And, just kept pushing, and a couple of years later, now, 3.5 years later, we're here, and stuff's going. It's trucking along, man.
Do you think that, like, and these are just, like, I'm just, like, trying to think of, like, just questions throughout your whole journey, right? Like, do you think, like throughout that whole 3 or 4 year period, like what was like going on in your head, like throughout that whole like process of thinking that you were gonna do hockey and then realizing that it's just not for you and stuff. Like what is for someone that's like still not knowing what they want to do with their life. Because I bet, like, in one point, like, I mean, sometimes I'm in that point, like, right now, like, still, I mean, I like business and I like entrepreneurship.
You're always going to be in that point.
Exactly. Oh, really?
Seriously, I think so. I mean,
yeah.
Our life is subject to change, the way I see it.
Yeah.
The person I am now is not the person I was 4 or 5 years ago, and I'm proud to say that.
Yeah.
I've been there. I was 15, 16, and you had a way that you see things, and then a year goes by and you realize, maybe something changed. And every year, especially, like, I mean, we're talking about how old are you now?
I'm 15.
Okay, I'll take it from there. Like a 15 to a 21-year-old, because I'm 21 years old now, right?
Yeah.
I just shaved the beard. It took like 7 years off.
Yeah, it looked a little younger.
But like that development stage from 15 to 21, man, it's insane. You're going to be going from obviously high school to out living on your own and hustling in the real world, and like your entire views on life are going to change in that period. At least, and I know it did for me. Like in that 6-year period, I went like, oh my god, man! Like how many ideas I tried to launch, and like how many directions I thought I was going. This is the age to play around. I mean, I don't think I'm going to know what I'm going to want to do to my life until I'm like 30, to be totally real with you. Like, I knew there was certain avenues I wanted to go, but all I did was play in each one until one finally stuck. It's like, you throw enough shit at the wall, one of them's going to stick.
Exactly. No, one of them at least. I mean, no, I completely agree, because I mean, for me in my life, like people always like, how did you decide that you wanted to be in a business for the rest of your life? I was like, this is I'm just working on like what my interests are like right now. Like tomorrow, I could wake up and be like, I want to become a doctor. Like I want to become an engineer or something. Tomorrow I could wake up and be completely different. But like right now, I'm just working off of like what my interests are and starting just like a little bit earlier than like other people are. Like I always told myself like what pushes me forward isn't like creating a successful business or something. It's just like that fear of being average in the future. Like for me, I just like. And that's something that's like really big in this new generation, is like making a difference and changing the world and like not being average and like this whole thing against like 9 to 5 jobs.
Yeah, but I feel like half the time that's a total crock of shit.
No, you're completely right, and like people just like, and that's why a lot of people
say it just to say it, because it's cool to say it now.
Exactly, it's like the cool thing to say, like, oh, I'm gonna change the world, but like very very few people, like barely anyone on this earth that's actually like changed the world, So, I mean. I think you're completely right in the sense that like that's why so many people like really don't respect like my generation and stuff, with like because of I mean like because of like all these like different like things that people are like flinging out of their mouth, and like again like Gary says, like putting entrepreneur in the bio and like thinking that they're hot shit and stuff like. Exactly. I mean like and then one day they'll realize that like, wow, like my actions had no correlation to the things I was saying to people and stuff like that. And
like one thing I found from that 15 to 21, and I think I know what I'm doing now, but who knows, right?
Yeah.
I think the one common denominator that was okay. I know whatever I'm going to do is going to be based on this one thing, and for me, this whole time, it's been it's going to be passive income to a certain point.
Yeah.
I want a business that obviously runs itself, and what I really mean by that is. I also love to travel. I really do. However, when you're trying to start a business, especially in a local area, like I knew, okay, if I'm going to go into personal training, either I'm going to sit in a room all day with people, half of them don't care.
Half of them are paying because their wife said that,
they have to because they have to do it.
Exactly.
Or I can base this whole thing online so that I can still have the freedom to be wherever I want in the world, enjoying that thing that I love, because I love this. But I also, this is my passion too. So how can I amalgamate the two, and how can I combine them into one career? And that was pretty much how I went, oh my God, this might stick on. And I'm still in the process of making it the thing. Because right now I currently run 2 businesses. One is a social media, I'd call it a social media management business.
Yeah.
And then obviously the training and then stuff as well. So, I mean, it's busy, and I'm just, right now the goal is just shifting everything into one direction. But I think if you've got that, and especially anybody watching, they've got that one thing, they know they want the freedom to do this, somehow you have to base a business around that where you can do it from anywhere, I think.
So your end goal and like whatever it is in life is just have that passive income to like create freedom for yourself to do anything in like wherever you want. It's like, is that kind of like your end goal of like
partly passive? Partly passive. One of my businesses will be purely passive as soon as we have it running totally autonomously. But we just had some guy steal some money from us and really screw us. So we're kind of
we're in the shaky point. Yeah,
we're still building the app properly.
Yeah.
But the training thing, that's not even passive because I still have to be there, like on the Skype calls, creating the programs. However, I just love it so much that I can do it from anywhere from the online system. It's relatively new and it's kind of hard for people to trust it because of that. However, it's going to take a couple of years to really narrow it into exactly what I want it to be, I think.
And like, when did you like discover that like that you wanted passive income and that was like your goal for like for your businesses and stuff like that? Like when did really? And what was that? Was that like just that love of like traveling and being like to have that like financial freedom and stuff like that, like freedom to do like whatever you want? And, like what was that motivation to have that one end goal?
Well, to be totally honest with you, that's getting a little personal because it was more. I didn't want to travel when I was young. I just know I didn't want to rely on a boss. Just from seeing some of the things that like my parents went through, the biggest thing was control of my own life. I didn't want to be out of control and be left with nothing at any point. The biggest thing was just I need to be in control of everything of mine. There can't be a middleman. There can't be a man on top. I have to have full control of my own income. If it sucks, it's my fault. If it's great, that's my reason. Like I did that. And that has nothing to do with proving to anybody else. It just has to really simply be, like you have to have the self-awareness too to really understand, okay, that is my fault and that. I just didn't want to, I didn't want to put my life in anyone else's hands. Yeah. Because I've seen it work shitty.
Wow, that's real. I mean, and that's something that's really like happening with this whole new like this whole new generation that's like coming up, like my generation and stuff. Like everyone like no one's like no one cares about working for anyone else. Like and like this whole like this revolution of like people who are against like 9 to 5 and everyone's like a leader now and everyone's an entrepreneur now and everyone like wants to be living their own life and like for you like you actually have a real purpose for like why you want freedom and you don't want to work for anyone else. You want to work for yourself. And like I feel like that's something that's so missing in so many different people's like lives in my generation because they're just saying, oh, I don't want to do 9 to 5 like because they're either lazy or they just don't want to put in the work to work for somebody else, or they just they don't actually know themselves. They're just doing it because it's like the new thing to do and stuff. So
I think a lot of it has to do with they think it'll be easy once they've got it. Like okay, I like basically. Oh, I can build this business where, okay, let's talk about passive income. And by the way, for anybody who doesn't know passive income, it's essentially a business where the money runs itself.
Yeah.
You've got something out there, and it just continues to tick over and over and over. We call it beach money almost.
Yeah.
And the problem is that when you say beach money, people literally believe that they can just sit on their ass on a beach for the rest of their life and make money where, like, it needs so much upkeep and, like, daily toddling as if it was a little child. So I think that's where they see this vision of where it should be as if they hit the lotto. Yeah, and they don't realize like little small intricate details that it takes every day in order to do something like that work.
Yeah, I mean I think like that's social media. Like I think that like that's happened because of social media right now. Like all you see on social media, it's like massive mansions, like fast cars, like all these like hot girls and stuff. Like that's all they see right now. It's all in front of their faces. And they think it's just so exactly. Like they think it's just so easy to get because they see it oh it's so fancy and stuff like that. But they don't actually know the process of what it takes to get those things. And that's actually part of the reason like why I started this account, like our process, to show people the actual like process of what it takes to become successful. Instead of like me posting like, oh I found this like cool Lamborghini on the side of the road, I'm gonna say that it's mine and get viral or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like actually show the process of what it took to like get those fancy things or to get to that one place where you wanna be, right? So I mean
they're taking a picture beside a Lamborghini on the side of the
road. My man. Hey,
Let's not claim that was mine.
Oh really? High roller.
See? I'm not one of them.
Yeah, no, that's good. I'm happy for you. That's really good, my man. But like, so like I said, like a lot of my followers are like, they're either like trying to get into fitness and they really like that world, or like they're super into like personal branding and they like really want to get their personal brand up and like they want to make some sort of difference or something. So like with you, because I know you're killing it with like your personal brand and stuff, and like creating that into like a business. So like, what is like throughout this whole journey of creating a personal brand, like how did you build up your personal brand? Like, what are some lessons that you could probably teach someone who's trying to build their personal brand as well?
Leverage your time wisely. That is my number one tip. Because when this first started, um, oh man, I spent hours and hours and hours going through liking photos, commenting on photos, messaging accounts, going through the phase where I thought shoutouts are going to be good, and then everybody realizes shoutouts don't do anything.
Yeah.
And then,
I realized that too.
But I mean, everybody has to go through that learning curve with all the intricate details of Instagram because it's changing so fast with all the updates they're doing as well.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
But when I say leverage your time, one of the things, and this is going to be a completely path that I think everyone else is going to be taking, is my business partner and I think, create, explore. His name's Alex. He's got a large page as well. We kind of got together one time and just kind of went, man, we are spending we're not sleeping. Like we're spending 3 to 4 hours a day going through all these profiles, and it's agonizing. So we went, okay, how can we, like I was talking about, automate this? Mm-hmm. So we actually linked up with a guy who was working during the summer at Tesla in an internship. He helped us out with coding, and we actually developed an app that we logged our Instagram account into, and it literally just runs and runs and runs. And that's what I talk about leveraging my time, is because Instagram isn't shit without a business. Like, there's literally YouTubers out there with 2 million followers. This was a story that came out a while ago. There was a YouTuber, a girl, I think in LA, who had 2 million followers on YouTube and was working as a server. Because she had no idea of monetizing a following. Now, like that's what I'm talking about. Like a following is all great, but if you can't monetize it and you haven't put the effort into the side to actually create a product or a service that anybody's going to appreciate, the following means nothing. Unless you just want to look cool. And then, you know what? Cool. If that feeds your ego, go for it. But, so we created this app that it just basically auto does everything for you. All the commenting, all the liking, the following, whatever you want to do, the app now runs autonomously. So while people have that app on their phone, and this is, by the way, was the side business. It's called Social Growth.
Okay, There's a lot.
You guys check it out online. It's socialgrowth.info.
Okay,
or social.online, sorry. I'm thinking about email. Socialgrowth.online. You can go check it out. It's an autonomous app that you can use for Instagram accounts. Anyways, that gave us the time, that 3 to 4 hours a day that we were spending on doing all those exact same things, liking photos, commenting on photos, and then we took that and reallocated it into focusing on the product. For him, it's something completely different. For me, it's obviously my personal branding of elevated performance training. That's my training. That's what I love. I freaking love it when an athlete goes from playing NCAA and then going to pro camps. Like, because maybe I'm vicariously living through their lives. I don't know, because I never actually got to that point because I just stopped early. Or I don't know. I love it. It's fun to me, and it's kind of like my purpose, you could say, currently at this 21-year-old stage, Denton.
Your full purpose at 20 years old,
But, I mean, who knows, right? In 2 years, it can totally change. You don't know what kind of life event can trigger that. So that's why I say everything is subject to change. But that's kind of, I think that the key takeaway from that is leverage your time. I highly, highly recommend someone jumps on some sort of automated app such as that, just so you can focus your time the other way. Now, I know you're a Gary Vee guy, and he says, don't do anything like that because it's a tactic. And I do call bullshit on that. You got to look at the numbers of Instagram, especially in the past couple of years. Like last year alone, there was 500 million users. Up from, like, every year there's 100 million new users, which means there's a massive saturation of the market on Instagram. And because of that massive saturation, there's just a lot of white noise. And like if I type in hashtag bodybuilding and refresh and click on a picture and refresh, it's gone like that. Now, either you have to be massive 3 years ago and show up at the top of those posts, or you're never going to be seen. Which is why a lot of these leveraging your time and using these systems are so important. Because if you can drive your name and funnel your account's name into other people's notification lists as often as possible, you've actually got a way better chance of being seen than posting 10 times a day and using the same hashtags, because it's going to be gone in 2 seconds. So that's why I say leverage your time with that while you also focus on a business. And that's just my opinion. It's not right. It's not wrong. It's just what's working for me.
No, I mean, there's just one that, do you know what Telegram is? Like that app? Well, it's basically this messaging app where a ton of Instagram accounts are on it and stuff. And they're messaging each other and stuff, and there's these things, there's growth services and stuff where you can get 1,000 botted likes or something like that. Where
no, that's
that's completely different from what you're saying. But people think for me that's just something complete that's
buying followers and buying likes. That's just fake.
No, but
anyone who knows what they're doing can see through that.
Yeah, I mean there's actual softwares where it's it's these accounts are active and engaging, and I'm not into that at all. I've seen these people. There's so many there's so many influencers out there that doing these services and stuff, and you can tell that the engagement is completely fake because they're getting comments that are 100 great, there's completely fake comments and stuff like that from botted people.
Well, a lot of what that is comment groups.
Yeah.
I've already given your followers the dirt. Just so everybody knows the reality of it. But Instagram's smoke and mirrors, man. It all is. There's so many comment groups that are out there. We've seen it. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus.
No, I'll show you all of them too, bro. There's so many.
I was literally just going to pull up a comment group because I know there's 3 of them on my phone.
Exactly.
And I was going to show you accounts with 1 million+ followers that literally. What they do is they, I don't know if you've been a part of it or not.
Oh, yeah, I used to be in 20
essentially,
of them,
you know what, I'll just show you.
I'll pull them up too. I'll pull it up too.
The truth wins, right?
Here we go.
So right here, it's called Group 12.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people who are, basically, they send their messages and they go, hey guys, I just posted. So
engagement group, look at this. Engagement group, they're just sending their photos
that's exactly it.
I've been putting 3 or 4 of those and
However, now let's look at the new Instagram updates and let's say, is that wrong or not? Because I think as of January it was, I noticed my engagement and many other Instagrammers, I had a 60% drop in engagement. Now, why was that? It was because the new Instagram system posts, the very first thing up in your feed is what they think you want to see first, right? And so I hate it. When I open my phone, I see Instagram, and the very first thing I see is a picture from 2 days ago. Why? Why?
Exactly.
So what I've noticed, that's what, remember when everybody was posting turn on post notification?
Exactly.
Well, it's because no one sees posts anymore.
Yeah.
It's great, 48,000 followers, but when I actually look at the people viewing my posts now, and by the way, there's not a single one of those are bought. I don't want to hear shit about that from anyone.
Yeah.
Because that's just offensive, to be totally honest.
It's so messed up.
If you've been here the whole time, you've watched it grow organically.
Exactly. No, it's messed up, man.
The accusing is too much. But what I was going to say is, I can go back and look at a post from, 7 months ago, and the viewership is awesome. If a quarter of my following is seeing it, I'm very happy. But now, dropped so much just due to the fact that the new algorithms set in place aren't really helping a lot of Instagrammers. That's why I'm saying taking that extra step and having to almost supplement your Instagramming with some sort of growth service is not wrong, and I don't blame anyone for it. Mm-hmm. Engagement groups, go for it. If it means that someone who's following that group sees that they just commented on a photo and they click on your page, that's a win. As far as I see it. With 100 million new active users every year, you've got to be a fucking savage to actually make it work nowadays. The fact that you're at 7,000 followers or whatever you're at right now, at your age, and this new into it, is good. Very good. And if you can just continue that going, man, you're in for it. Yeah. I like it.
No, you're right, dude.
But it's a tough time.
It's so, bro. It's so, because we've been doing the whole hour process thing since like we've really been doing it since the beginning of summer, but we started the account in like October. So what happened was since the beginning of summer to now, we have not gained a single follower, and we're trying to do it like all organic. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's so hard to get our name out there, like, to get on the explore page, or get on the top of tags, or, you know, to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just.
I remember those days.
I know, it's like, it's, no, but, you know, it's actually, like, we want to try and help as many people as possible, obviously. And, like, we're very, like, grateful for, like, the amount of people that we do influence every single day. But, you know, like, to grow every single day, like, a little bit, like, it's almost like these growth services are, like, necessary to even get your name out there. Like, it's, to even get, like, new people even looking at your things, it's almost as if, like, it's a necessity now. Like, yeah, it's just...
It's until Instagram changes some stuff, it's tough.
And we just gotta adapt. We just gotta adapt to it some way, like, cause
absolutely, and that's what I think we're all in the middle of doing right now. However, there's only so much adaptation that you can put in place if you can't be seen. That's why I'm saying I swear to God that next step is running these automated services. Just if you're not going to be seen, you have to force it, and if you have to force it manually, it's taking up a ton of your time that you could be using on the business.
Yeah.
Then there's obviously I got to that point too where I went, okay, so this really is not growing anymore, because it was, oh my God, the percentage increase in a 2-year period, because that's how long I've been doing it, was insane, like really insane. And then all of a sudden it just cold cut, stopped dry, which I went, damn it, right? So from right there, I immediately stopped, went over to Facebook. I've been growing Facebook. Okay, so now as soon as I knew Facebook was growing, I said, great, I'm going to go into YouTube, and I've been pumping out videos on YouTube now. So I'm trying to cover all bases.
That's a really
just in case one of those programs changes in my favor, and I start blowing up on somewhere else. Mm-hmm. Snapchat, I just haven't been very good there, to be totally honest with you. Eventually I'll get there once I have time, but right now my next step is podcasting.
No, I love that, yeah.
Because I got a lot of contacts, and I got a lot of people I really want to do exactly what you're doing right here. Mm-hmm. Have real conversations with them about science when it comes to physical fitness, whatever. I want to talk with people, and I want to put it online.
Yeah, no, I love that.
Plus, it can be used on YouTube content as well. A lot of this can be transferred over from one platform to another.
Exactly, yeah.
So, that's also part of leveraging your time. How much of this interview can you use on Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram, right?
We take the 1 minute clip of like the best 1 minute clip from this video, put it on Instagram, and say click the link in our bio for the full video, and then put it on YouTube, and then put, you know, and then also on Twitter, and then putting it to YouTube, and also on Facebook, and then
link it. That too.
So like, yeah, I owe that. But I mean, no, like we're dropping stuff that like the big guys won't talk about, because they're just like, they don't want to get into that. I mean, there is a line where like, I don't know, like for me, the reason why I haven't really been so huge in these growth services and stuff like that is because I feel like those are just like quick and easy ways to get, like, you know, to grow a little bit, like quick and easy way, and I feel like nothing, like for me, nothing good comes like fast and easy and like stuff like that.
I feel like you're cheating.
Yeah, it's like it's a cheating thing, but it's also like I want to show people that I can like do it from zero, and like I don't need any growth packages to do it. I can do it just because like the content that I post it actually help people, and not just for like the reason of, you know, getting my name out there and stuff like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
Like there's so many like there.
Where I begin to worry is Instagram's been around for a while now.
Oh yeah.
And every social media service has a peak. I don't want you, I don't want anybody else coming into it as it's on its downfall. Mm-hmm. Like I said, there's 100 million new users every year is insane. At some point, that's going to continue. It will continue to rise for a while here, but I just don't want that to finish off in 2 years and then begin to plummet down. Mm-hmm. In the meantime, I don't know. You have to do what you feel is right. Yeah, obviously, for your own page, and everybody has to.
Exactly.
But especially when it comes to, like, for me, I've been in it for a while, a couple of years. However, I still have to uphold to sponsors, right? Wow. I mean, originally when my sponsors signed me and I'm getting this many views, okay, that's great. And then all of a sudden, Instagram incorporates new algorithms and new updates, and that gets cut in half. So, anyways, what I was saying is, I think a lot of people who have been in this industry for a while now are kind of caught up in this. Okay, we still obviously need to help support these businesses that we're all involved with, either collaborations, through paid sponsorship, through ambassadorships, or whatever. It's not just one person, and I'm speaking for me. Thriveless, they treat me amazingly, and I want to ensure that I continue to help them grow their business. Yeah. Obviously, they could give me massive opportunity in the future, and I want them to be successful as well. I believe in the products, I believe in the company. So that's when it comes to it's bigger than you at that point, right? Mm-hmm. I go, okay, yeah, my growth might be a little stagnant right now. However, I can still push them as I can, and I feel like I need to give them more. Obviously, like as time goes on, you only feel like you should grow, especially if the opportunity for you becomes bigger. I only feel like we need to give that parallel value back to each other. That's when I think it becomes necessary.
So, like, for people that are like trying to get, because I mean, I know for like I don't know, like maybe for like maybe athletes or people who are like maybe into gaming or into like that whole, like maybe they're rappers out there or something, or people who are even into athletics and stuff. Like, what are some ways that that they can get like sponsorships or get like endorsed by, you know, businesses and stuff? Is that just like, you know, for me, if I was in that situation, like if I needed to get sponsorships and stuff, I would just hit up every single business and just DM them, like probably DM like hundreds of businesses a day. I mean, for me at least, if I was in that situation, but like.
Yeah, that's something you have to be. I get a lot of messages about that.
Yeah.
I get hit up by a ton of emails and direct messages all the time, just from people off about, hey, I want to get sponsored, I want this, I want that, or hey, you talk to your company for me.
Yeah.
Drives me nuts because it's even companies that approach me, they're like, hey, we'd love it if you would affiliate with us, and then it's just like that's just it. That's all they say, and I know a lot of people who are going, hey, I want to get sponsored, are literally sending that exact same email to the companies.
Yeah. Wow, that's sad.
They don't know anything about the companies. They don't know anything about the products. They haven't not gone, like, I'm just talking about supplements in general. They haven't gone through every single ingredient on that label. They have no idea what they like and what they don't like. They don't know what companies are pumping out shit products and what companies are pumping out good products. Yeah. They just want to look cool because it sounds cool to be sponsored. Straight up.
No,
like, I know. Yeah. I see it all the time from people who are like, I know they stand up proud, and really, in realistic view, I know they're getting like $50 worth of product a month, and they're like, I'm sponsored. But
yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah. And the biggest problem I have with these emails I get, and they say, hey, how do I get sponsored? I take one click onto their page, and I see they've got 600 followers, and I go, well, who the fuck wants to pay you? Or even send you free product for that matter.
Exactly.
Like, people don't realize there has to be a value proposition for each company when they're approaching them. Like, hey, this is what I'm bringing to the table. This is what I want from you. It's got to be some sort of an equal trade-off, or you're giving them more than what they can offer you in the beginning. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just people keep going, hey, look at me. I've got a great body. Sign me. Mm-hmm. Whoa, I mean, what's that going to do for them? Exactly. Yeah, they can maybe use you for a picture, but they can just copy and paste your picture.
Exactly.
There's got to be some sort of value exchange that is beneficial for the company, and everybody's missing that in the emails. They just say, hey, I'm this guy with this many followers, sign me, and that's just not good enough. There's got to be so many more, because Instagram is like 1/4 just guys posting half nude photos. I mean, there's not enough opportunity for all those people, so now be smart about it. And really, how much value can you offer a company? What can you do for them? And that's something you've got to display in your emails, display in the presentation that you involve with them. And even then, you might only get 1 in 10 emails back if you're lucky.
I mean, you're lucky. Exactly. And people just think that they have the leverage when like they're the one that they're asking for they're asking to be sponsored and stuff. Like, I'm reading this one book. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People. And a lot of have you read that book?
How to Win Friends and Influence Others. Yes.
And yeah. So one thing that it talks about is is people just like to talk about themselves all the time. And then they talk about themselves from reaching out to a client, or trying to get some sort of product on them or something like that, and they completely forget about adding value. They talk about themselves, but he talked about how the people who are like to talk about like to add value and like to help other people instead of talking about themselves all the time. is the people that will become like the most successful in their life. So and that's for anything in life. Like if you want a job, if you want like a product placement, if you want like to get a client or anything, like stop saying like like what they can do for you. Start thinking about like what you can do for them and how you can add value to their lives. In their lives, their business and stuff. So like what you're saying is like lessons for anything in life, really. And I think that's something that a lot of people really need to think about because it's something big with like this whole new thing that's coming up. It's like, yeah, it's all about me. Like, I'm the only Instagram account that does this. Like, trust me. And then like you look up like, you look up like motivation, and there's like 1,000 other motivational accounts saying they're doing the exact same thing that you're doing, right? So.
Of course, yeah.
It's just like people are just like that's just how it is. So, I guess that leads on to like just another question I'm thinking of, like how do you stand out in like such a saturated need? Like for example, like there's so many people that are like, bro, Matt, like I want to start like a motivational account. Like what do you think I should do? And I usually say like start making videos or something. But like I want to tell them like honestly like right now, unless like you're really gonna stand out, like it's such a saturated market. Like there's thousands and thousands of motivational accounts, and it's so hard to stand out in that niche. So like in what you're doing, like you've kind of stood out in your niche a little bit. So like what do you think? Like how do you think people can stand out in their niche for what they're doing? Like
well,
whatever they're.
Like obviously I can't speak for everyone else, but what I did for my page in the beginning, I had a really crappy little camera phone. I couldn't really take that great of pictures.
Yeah.
So I did the best that I could, and the best that I could was basically I took the best photos I could, and I one of the reasons I did competitions was for the photos because I knew I could use them as marketing.
Yeah.
And like first off, if you can't post a quality photo in this day and age, that's just a bad excuse. Everyone has a sick phone nowadays.
Yeah, exactly.
For the longest time, I was just scared to have someone take a picture for me. I just thought it was being very vain. Okay, here I am taking a picture of my bicep again. It's kind of awkward, right?
Yeah.
For the longest time, I would literally, like straight up, dude. There was this one time I was taking this picture of a product at a store, and I was like ripping apart the label and some of the crappy ingredients or whatever it was. And I literally taped my phone to the other side of the display and set a timer on a selfie to take a picture of myself.
Yeah.
And then eventually I got over it because I was like, I just don't care what people think anymore.
Exactly.
However, even though the photos weren't the best, I would essentially supplement the photos and add a huge amount of value to the post by giving a massive bio, talking about science, talking about whatever, and just making sure I was pumping out quality information to every single post that I was putting out. Yeah, that was my big thing. It was like, I don't have the greatest photos, so I better have a ton of really good information. After that, I moved on from there, and obviously the photos got better, and that was the big thing. However, that was just me. Like, okay, tons of information, always pumping out good information. How I built my following, so I'm continuing to try to do that. If it's a motivational page, honestly, like for you, maybe try to get on the call with someone. Get a 30-second call with someone.
Exactly.
Like, do something that people aren't doing. Like, obviously, phone lines are open. See if you can send email to Robin Sharma and just post a response. I don't know. You gotta go all out because you're right. It's a saturated market. So many new users every day.
It's crazy.
You gotta be crazy.
No, and there's so many, like you said, my man, like 100 million people every year, like that's 100 million people like taking your like another person like make another motivational page or something like that, like, and it just, I think you're complete.
90 million.
Oh my god, it's crazy. Like the hashtag motivation has like
motivational pages are easy, right? Because you just repost another picture.
Exactly. That's so many people are doing that. So, I think we're good. Like that was just a ton of like we got some really good. We dropped some really good value and some really good knowledge on these people. And I like how we were really talking about things that like. A lot of these big guys like don't want to talk about and stuff because they think it's like they're just scared to talk about it, so I think this is some really good stuff, and I really appreciate you spending the time and talking with me. Like I know like I hope I can add as much value to you from this video as possible. But I know, like, I just really appreciate you taking the time to do this for me. And
honestly, man, you're taking this so seriously. You're 15. I'm excited to see what you do in the next 10 years.
Bill, I am too. Like, I have actually no clue, like, where. Like, that's another. That's a whole nother color, you know.
But that's okay. And that's what I really implore people to understand, that, like, when you get an email from Matt Joseph or whoever, right? And it's just like, hey, dude, we talked for 10 minutes. Don't scoff and go, oh, he's the low key. Because 10 years, I almost guarantee 10 times the worth of what I will. Just because how different you are at this age, to even hit me up in the DMs about something like this, I wouldn't have done it.
Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it, my man. So just so people know, like, what's your like handle on like social media and stuff? Like, what's your at?
At Dennis Maximchuk. Other than that, elevated performance training. If you guys have any sort of physical goals that you want to work on, we will get you that 100%. So, Matt, thank you so much, my man. I gotta get going. I gotta read some sleep.
No problem, man. And thank you so much for taking the time. And I hope you have a wonderful day, my man. Let's definitely stay connected as well.
Talk to you soon.
See you, my man. Bye.